Hey everybody, what a spectacular day, huh? Beautiful day heading to the weekend. YourNews.com, the Parker and the Man page. This is why we live up north, right? Those 6-7 months of winter just to have days like this and appreciate them. Anyhow, we're writing about the Wings' loss in game number 4 in Pittsburgh. What happened, that meltdown of about 6 minutes in the second period when the Wings were up 2-1 on the power play, ready to rock and roll, and just nothing. Pavel Datsyuk skated, tried to go, couldn't. I know the kind of injury he has. It's one where you can feel great, and then all of a sudden you try to get your legs back again, you just can't do it. So he couldn't go. Maybe he'll be able to go in Game 5, maybe not. We'll see. Anyhow, it's 2-2, 2-2. That's where it stands right now, and Rob's feeling pretty good about himself, but that's neither here nor there. Also, check out some of the stuff on NBA Game 1. Kobe Bryant, first ever 40-point game in the finals for himself after all these years with the Lakers, and he did the job, and Dwight Howard was terrible. Superman was awful. There was no cape there. Just 6 shots taken, 1 shot made for Dwight Howard of the Orlando Magic. Speaking of Orlando, one of their assistant coaches to Stan Van Gundy is none other than former Pistons assistant Brendan Malone, who used to be with Chuck Daly on those great teams, the bad boy era. Remember the two Brendans? I think it was Kenny Calvert at the Palace would say, the two Brendans, Brendan Malone and Brendan Sir. Brendan Malone. Anyhow, he's on that staff, and he's obviously coaching with a bit of trepidation since the passing of Chuck back on May 9th. Also, the Detroit Shock start their defense of their WNBA championship from last year. Another banner added, ring night on Monday against the Los Angeles Sparks, but they'll actually start in L.A. On Saturday. A little pick on the Belmont Stakes, the final leg of the Triple Crown. Calvin Borel has a chance to do something no jockey has ever done, and that is win all 3 races with 2 different horses. And we all know that. He ran Rachel Alexandra in the Preakness, Kentucky Derby with Mind That Bird. He'll be back on Bird for the Belmont Stakes. And Randy Johnson gets number 300, the unit, number 300. Do you remember when Randy Johnson threw a no-hitter against the Tigers? It happened about 2 decades ago. Who was the guy that struck out in that game to end the game? And what current general manager in baseball was the center fielder, former Tiger on that team, that night in Seattle? You know what? I already wrote about it, so I'll just tell you what it is. There's your trivia. But Mike Heath, ex-catcher, was the guy who struck out against Johnson to end the game. And 2-0 final. Jeff Robinson pitched that night. And the center fielder was Kenny Williams, who's now the general manager of the White Sox. And I asked a trivia question before on the last webcam. It was also written about, but I'll tell you anyhow. It was Eric Davis, who's the last American leaguer, former Tiger Eric Davis. He was with Baltimore at the time to have a 30-game hitting streak in the American League. It's been that long since a 30-game streak. Ichiro is at 27. He starts a weekend series in Seattle against Minnesota. He's trying to get to 30 straight games. So a lot of stuff to look at as we head into the weekend on YourNews.com, the Parker and the Man page. So check it out. Happy navigating it, and have a great weekend.